how big he's getting. Oh my God. That's Steve the Kitten. Hey, what's up? It's me, the OGGM. It's Sunday. It's about 11 o'clock. It's the second day of October. Spooky, spooky. It's weird weather here at Site B, and we have an update on the ever-continuing soap opera of weirdness that is the Critical Role mass death episode that has received so much negative press and resulted in Mr. Mercer receiving death threats. How dare he? I was told it wasn't the first cliffhanger that Mercer pulled off. Congratulations at being able to pull off a cliffhanger and having it end exactly when the time ran out for your broadcast. I mean, that's just amazing. He must have been watching the clock and knowing that, okay, I can do this and this, and then I can end it in the cliffhanger. And as we know, MARISSA RAY's character died, sort of, and she had to leave. And we speculated why she had to leave, and the only reason I could think of was, well, so she doesn't know what's happening to her character. Except it turns out she was still there in the building, because if you watch the newest one, which is the continuation, she's still around. In fact, you can hear her voice in one thing. So I don't know. I having to leave the table because your character died is upsetting. I don't know really why. I guess it's something he maybe instigated. Remember, I do not watch the show. I just read reviews and occasionally watch a clip, but I do not watch Critical Role, and it's far too late for me to start watching Critical Role, and I'm just, as you know, not really a fan of the whole Critical Role phenomenon. But this has become newsworthy because so many people are reacting to it, and not favorably. So, spoilers ahead. Before the month ended, they take a break at the end of every month for a week or so, which is like good. I think they deserve that. We had the part 3. What are we going to do with this dead unhallowed? And I tried to figure out, without any back knowledge of, just looking at the stats of the unhallowed and the breakdown of its abilities and stuff. And the whole thing, how it doesn't have a soul, but it still maintains some of the personality, and it can still go on adventures and do stuff. So it's technically undead, but it's technically not undead. But since it doesn't have a soul, and reincarnation, resurrection, raised dead, all clearly state must have soul. And then, of course, we discovered that her patron / puppeteer was Delilah Blackwood from the first campaign, so that led to speculations, well, maybe Delilah Blackwood could inherit her body, or if she's dead and now brought back as an unhallowed, that means there's an original personality out there somewhere that was that individual before they died. Could that soul be placed in the body? And then would she still be an unhallowed, or would she just be a normal, I don't know, human, elf, dwarf, halfling, carrot, and have to start all over as a either first level or same maybe lose a level in each class because she's dual class. I don't know. It offered up so many questions. So the solution was to trace back the origins of the unhallowed and try and figure out if there was something there where her second life so began. And if you're familiar with Critical Role, which I'm not, apparently if you trace back the storyline of the unhallowed histories in Xandria, it heads back to Whitespire. Why is Whitespire important? Well, if you've watched the animated cartoon, that's where the big battle took place between the vampires and the undead, and Percy and his weird demonic hench thing, and the guns and the Blackborns and vampires and stuff. And apparently that's where the origins of the unhallowed begin, from whatever happened during season 1 in Whitespire. Well, who happens to hang out in Whitespire and is the Grand Druid of Whitespire? But it's Keyleth, MARISSA RAY's character from the first campaign. If you saw the cartoon, Keyleth was the half-elf looking elf chick with the red hair and the antlers, because she's some weird earth elemental race. Again, I don't know why she had antlers. I don't know if she actually had antlers or if that was a helmet, but the cartoon picture posted she had antlers. Well, turns out they had to talk to Keyleth, who now, we're 3 campaigns in, a large chunk of time has passed. She's the Grand Druid, or the Tempest that lives, or she's a big hugwog. So there was a big introduction of Keyleth arriving, everybody suddenly realizing, oh my God, this is Keyleth. The fans are all going, oh my God, it's Keyleth. And then everybody thought, spoilers, this was going to be a one-shot chance for Marissa to come back and play Keyleth and role play out how Keyleth might help in bringing Marissa Ray's current dead character back. So she would get to play her character from Campaign 1 to help in the progress of the story of her character from Campaign 3. And she was there. She was there in the studio because apparently she insulted Sam, from what I'm reading. And no, Mercer played Keyleth to the end of the episode and then left us with the break. So till Thursday the 6th, fans of the show don't know what's going to happen. Is Marissa going to be playing Keyleth next week, or is Mercer going to still be playing Keyleth? And of course the fan base got upset. Oh my God. Really? The Critical Role fan base got upset because Mercer voiced Keyleth for 5-10 minutes? How dare she not voice her character when she was there? How dare he not let her come back to the table? How dare he play her character and do her voice when, obviously he can't do her justice. An award-winning, multi-talented voice actor who's done both male and female voices in the past can't do Keyleth. Now, I mean, of course, obviously him and Marissa didn't take the entire week to discuss. Yeah, I mean, even though they live together and they're married and they work on the behind the scenes campaign stuff together, at no point in time did he ever say, hey, this is what I have planned. What do you think she would do? Obviously no, because the fan base are just like, oh, how dare you? And, I know I get angry at the fan base a lot for how hypocritical they are. But I'm going to say that, that's only like 10% of the fan base. Look at Steve. Most of the fan base are just like anybody else, just like me being a fan of Super Sentai or Walking Dead or professional wrestling. Something happens, maybe I get upset. Oh no, how dare so-and-so job to Braun Strowman. Oh no, how dare they kill favorite character of the week in The Walking Dead. Oh no, how dare they not follow the Sentai. I'm upset for 5 seconds, but then I move on with my life. And I'm pretty sure that's 90% of the Critical Role fans by now who are just like, oh my God, this happened. We're upset Marissa's characters died, but you know what? We're going to move on because it's just, at the end of the day, it's a TV show and it's just characters and it doesn't really have any effect on our life. Unfortunately, that 90% is not the 90% we ever hear about. We only ever hear about the toxic 10%, the toxic 10% who for the past week have been attacking Mercer for having Keyleth reappear in Campaign 3. Oh my God, I would think this was going to be an amazing moment. If you look at the looks of the faces on Laura and Travis in the clip, they're like, oh my God, you can just see how excited they are that Keyleth is back from Campaign 1. But Mercer did the voice, and for some reason, that's upsetting people. And then, of course, he ends it with a cliffhanger because there's no Critical Role again to, I guess, the 6th. Will Marissa Ray return as the voice of Keyleth for the short time that they're there in White Spire? Will there be more tie-ins between White Spire and Campaign 1 and the other characters that are associated with White Spire? Could we see Percy or whoever else was in the cartoon show up? Scanlan, the other cartoon guys? Remember, my total knowledge of Critical Role is from Vox Machina, the cartoon. And, what you guys tell me and what I see in clips. So, yeah, and it would make sense since she's there, and now that Mercer has set up that Keyleth is back for this short period of time, that she could do the voice of Keyleth, and Mercer and her could take the 2 weeks to discuss, the implications and what Keyleth can and cannot do, and then play it out and see where it goes from there. No, this show's not scripted, but I'm sure they talk about it. Or he could still do the voice and just say, I'm sorry, you're still off camera until this is resolved, which at this point makes no sense because she's there. Again, the only reason to send her off camera when she died, other than maybe she was more upset than we thought, or it's some rule that he put in that I don't get, What if, everybody has said no. Just everybody who responded to why did she leave was like, the ones who weren't upset were like, why not just give her something else to do? Don't make her leave. Let her run the bad guys. Let her be co-GM for a while. So, and on the 6th, will Marissa return as the voice? And if not, why not? Will Mercer do the voice of Keyleth? And if so, how much trouble is he going to get into? Why am I talking about this? Because it's newsworthy and it gets me clicks and it's for the algorithm and it's interesting, and the toxicity leaks into other aspects of the hobby. The critical role toxicity affects the critical role of the the toxicity of the other thing, and the OSR versus the so it's newsworthy, it's interesting, it's sad to watch how people react so negatively to it. And again, that's the 10%, but because of Twitter, the 10% who say these horrible things about Mercer are the 10% we only ever hear from. We never hear from the other 90% who are like, I'm just fine with what happened. Big deal. Okay, it's a show. I was upset. I'll move on. It'll be explained. She'll come back. She'll have a new character. Whatever. It's D&D. It's not like anybody stays dead. Whatever. So there's the update on the news regarding her. I'm reading the article right now, and it's like, yeah, fans were upset. I don't know. There's probably something more important going on in the world to talk about. Happy Halloween.